Hello and welcome back to revise GCSE history.co.uk. This video today is video 3 in the topic, the Indian Wars, and in this video today we are going to be looking at Red Cloud's War, which is the second Indian War that you need to know about, ready for the exam. So, Red Cloud's War. In 1862, gold was discovered in the Rocky Mountains. So gold was discovered in the Rocky Mountains, and the Bozeman Trail was used to get to the Rocky Mountains, and the Bozeman Trail passed through lands that belonged to the Sioux Indians. So, gold is discovered in the Rocky Mountains, and the trail that is used to get to the Rocky Mountains, the trail that miners would need to use, is the Bozeman Trail. But this Bozeman Trail passes through Sioux lands and territory of the Sioux Indians. And the government failed to stop gold miners from breaking the peace treaty, and they crossed Sioux lands. So, gold miners actually broke the Indian and US US government peace treaty by passing through Sioux lands as they travelled on the Bozeman Trail. And as you're probably guessing already, what the Sioux Indians did is they attacked travellers along the trail. So, white Americans were travelling along the Bozeman Trail, and the Sioux thought, we're not having this, they're coming through our lands, so what they started to do is attack white Americans on the trail. And what the government did is they initially opened peace talks with Red Cloud, who was a Sioux leader, to resolve the issue. So what happened next? So we're holding peace talks. But, whilst the US government were holding peace talks with Red Cloud, the government ordered the army to build a chain of forts along the Bozeman Trail to protect the travellers. So, the US Army, on one side, they're holding peace talks with Red Cloud, a Sioux Indian chief, to try and resolve the issue, but on the other side, they're telling the US Army to build a chain of forts along the Bozeman Trail to protect travellers. So they're telling them to build forts on Sioux Indian lands, whilst they're holding peace talks. So, as you can imagine, Red Cloud found out about the fort building, broke off talks with the US government in disgust, and attacked the army. He thought that was crazy. 1 minute they're having peace talks, next minute they're building forts along the Sioux lands. So what happened is the Sioux Indians laid siege to the forts, trapping the US army. And although they were unable to capture the army, they prevented the free movement of the US Army and the lack of access to the Bozeman Trail. Okay, so what were the consequences of Red Cloud's War? So in 1868, the government realised that the Sioux Indians could not be defeated militarily, and what they did is they opened an alternative route to the gold mining areas, one which didn't pass through Sioux Indian lands. The government agreed to withdraw from the forts and to stop building the forts. So, what happened as a final consequence of Red Cloud's War is that under the terms of Fort Laramie Treaty, the Great Sioux Reservation was created, and Red Cloud agreed to the treaty because no non-Indians were allowed to enter this land. So, under the terms of Fort Laramie Treaty, we've got the Great Sioux Reservation, which is created, and the Fort Laramie Treaty said that no non-Indians were allowed to enter the Sioux Indian lands. And this is important, because in a later video we'll find out that this is broken, and this really angers Red Cloud and other Sioux leaders. So, under the Fort Laramie Treaty, we've got the Great Sioux Res. Okay, so we've actually come to the end of all the knowledge we need to cover for today's video. Here are 4 quick questions based on the content of this video today. Pause the video here if you like, scribble down some answers. If not, carry on watching, we'll do the answers together. So, the answers. Question 1, where was gold discovered in 1862? It was discovered in the Rocky Mountains. Question 2, what trail did miners use to get to the gold mining areas? They used the Bozeman Trail, and that passed through lands which were promised to the Sioux Indians. Question 3, what did the army do to protect travellers along the trail? Well, they started to build a chain of forts along the trail. What was created as a result of a Red Cloud's War? So we've got the Great Sioux Reservation, and that is guaranteed to the Sioux under the terms of the Fort Laramie Treaty. Alright, so these are the answers to these 4 questions. Thanks for watching this video today. I hope you found it useful. If you have, visit the website and tell all your friends about me. Next video in this topic is a video on the final Indian War, which is the Great Sioux War. Carry on watching to find out more.